Today is a semi-sad day. Season 1 of your first job has come to its conclusion. What do I listen to now? Do I sit here and just wait? What if I get hungry? If you're wondering why I'm here in crisis, it's because you have yet to listen to this gem of a podcast. My friend, it's quite the cheat code when navigating your career trajectory by getting the perspective of those who were once in your shoes and have accomplished amazing things since that starting point. Why guess when you can ask the best? Wait, somebody put that on a t-shirt. Do you think I'm fabricating a reality that never was? Well, here are some highlights.
So the world has evolved where there's more of those freedoms, freedom of expression, to be who you are with your hair, with your clothing style and things like that. But I still think, and hopefully I'm more and more wrong, but I still think you do have to manage what's the impression that you want a person to have and what you want them to think about you before they get to know you, and how quickly can you get them there.
Right.
So you need to be true to yourself, whatever that is. But you do also have to realize that what that first impression is may not be what you want them to think. It may not be the truth. And so how can we quickly help them navigate from here to the truth about you? I think that's something that's still true.
You know, the analogy that I use is like, you know, if you think of like an old-fashioned wagon wheel, and in the center hub is you, right? And if you think of yourself as that you are the center of your life, of your world, and if you are really grounded in love within yourself, then there's a spoke for career, there's a spoke for romance, there's a spoke for friendship, there's a spoke for body, there's a spoke for money, there's a spoke for, you know, everything else. But you are the common denominator. You are the central character. You are the main character in the story of your life.
And then the last thing, which I used to tell college students all the time, is apply again. Like, apply 6 months later, right? Like, I think sometimes people think, and especially idealistic college students, when I used to do this, like, oh, if I don't get it now, I'll never work there. And I'm like, no, take your job at the startup, or work there for a year or two, resubmit, you know, your application, or email us back again. And I can't tell you, Leilani, how many students and industry professionals do that too, right? Like, don't give up applying. You know, like, you're just going to get more experiences elsewhere that are going to strengthen your application and your candidacy.
But I think to me, it's just library is so much like the world. There's so much more positivity in the world, but the negativity, trolls, the loud negative voices just stand out. Like, you have millions of people in the world, but you have 5 to 20 very, very loud people who are very negative, and they're just so loud that it stands out even amongst the millions of positive vibes and everything else. It's the same thing as the library. Like, just there's so many more positive, so many more joyful moments than there are negative things. But I think that's what people echo to me. They're just like, oh yeah, you made me remember joy again.
Yeah.
Like, anything.
The most frequently mentioned thing was this piece of advice, and it was save your go to hell money. Go to hell money is that whatever your financial circumstances are, you may have student debt, you may have loans, you may have bills, but where you have discretion to put aside some money that you can use when the time comes that you, for whatever reason, want to tell your employer to go to hell. It could be you are unwilling to do what they've asked you to do ethically. It could be you don't like how you're being treated. It could be you just hate the work, you hate your colleagues. The idea is that you put yourself in a position that you can say, go to hell.
He would say, you know, what are your unique and unequaled assets?
Mm-hmm.
And so individuals who show us their unique and unequaled assets are really strong applicants, because we're trying to craft a class of very diverse individuals. And we talk about diversity very broadly speaking, right? Not just race and ethnicity, but from lived experiences, diverse. It's because you want this microcosm of the real world, right? We're trying to create a microcosm of the real world, but in a way that that offers each individual in that class an experience that they would not have had they not been a part of a class.
Never. And so 2 years in, he said to me, one day you could be general counsel. And I said to him, wow, Bob, you think I could do your job? And he said, no. You could be the general counsel of Lockheed Martin Corporation. And just to give you context, he was the general counsel of Lockheed Martin Information Management Services Company, which is where we worked. He reported to a regional general counsel who reported to the general counsel of Lockheed Martin Corporation. And he said, Wanda, you could be the general counsel of Lockheed Martin Corporation one day. And I was 2 years out of law school, and I said, what are you talking about? But that seed was planted that day. I mean, I feel I can close my eyes and see myself sitting, kind of on the other side of his big kind of cherry desk and him telling me this. And I just thought to myself, you know what, if Bob Downing thinks I can do this, this is what I want to do.
I've been doing this long enough and I've been in business long enough to know that consistency of effort seems to me to be the paramount piece of the puzzle. So I'll use an example, if I can, to illustrate my point about my most recent venture, which is this newsletter that I write. It's on Substack. It's called A Small and Simple Thing. And it's kind of a lifestyle newsletter. And I started that newsletter 3 years ago, and I've been posting regularly once a week for 3 years. Lots of people have started Substacks, and I've seen lots of people start Substacks, write them for 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, and then stop and fall off. Meanwhile, I started with my 20 followers that I got, and slowly I just kept at it. But
Right.
now I've got, something to the tune of, I don't know, I think it's 1,500 to 2,000 subscribers to this newsletter. And it's a meaningful side hustle, if you will. I've just learned that the person, assuming there's already a level of skill or talent or something that people will respond to, if you just keep at it, I feel like good work still in this country, in this environment, good work will be rewarded.
What did I tell you? Golden. Also, I'm pleased to announce that Your First Job is now available on the Giant Steps YouTube channel. Now you can pair inspiring words with beautiful faces and start your day better than ever. Also, the sequel is in production. Season 2 is coming in mid-February. I'm already over here trying to guess who they rounded up, but I'm also down for some pleasant surprising. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, please listen, share, and subscribe everywhere you get your podcast to keep up to date, because you can't keep missing this. I'm starting to get concerned.